Okay, we today had some fun with spectral EQing in Pro Q4 in our projects here, using this bad boy to make space for the vocal here in our entire sub mix for the side chain here, which gives us kind of this look here where you can see it's side chain out the bus 9, which is our breakdown vocal bus over here. And I'll play it through. I don't think you'll hear anything different than you've heard in previous sections, but for those people that are just now kind of joining the project, hi, hello, glad to have you here. This is what we're working on. This is what this sounds like. Now that might not sound like much for the vocal there. It might sound like it's still being buried, and you'd be right, it kind of is. I also, with our breakdown vocal here, kind of made a new mix for it. Originally, we had this shaper box reverb going that basically, when it was triggering audio, actually you can kind of ignore this envelope. Though this envelope's for the send, yeah. Anyway, but the volume was being ducked by the actual reverb, or by the actual signal chain. I can play it over here in the section where it is still happening appropriately. This is the volume level of the reverb when the vocal comes in. It's pushing the reverb out of the way of the vocal, so when I'm actually saying it's surprising, you're hearing the voice pretty clearly, and then it slowly lets it go and ring out as I kind of done singing. The send is kind of gets you going on this linear path here, where at the beginning it's not even sending anything to the reverb, so it's really clean, and then as it goes up, it sends more and more. This is a cool technique, but it does make for a very, very clean vocal, and that works over here. I think over here in this busier mix, it was just kind of dry. And I, at first, when I sat down today, was trying to carve space for it to let it be like the central thing that takes attention. And as I created that space, I didn't like it. So then I just actually disabled that effect there. So this shaper box now is just not working, and just put a very wet QRS arena reverb here, pulling the dry level down 10 decibels. So this over here now by itself sounds like... So just so much reverb hanging on it there, and I like that style here. But I did want it to be able to kind of come through. It really competes with the guitar. If we kind of look at it in the span here, that's taking up that space there, and the voice is taking up a really similar area. It's definitely more on the high end, so there is kind of some space for the two of them to sit with each other here. But it's like... they're like really on top of each other there. So when I turn the spectral EQ on, it pierces just a little bit better through, because again, this spectral sidechain mode, this is carving space out of the guitar in the specific spots where the voice is singing. Now, I will say the effect is not as strong as I was hoping it would be. It wasn't like I can hear the vocal, and I was actually struggling to hear it at all. So I went through and bounced it with the spectral effect on and the spectral effect off, and made these two tracks here. These ones are going straight to the stereo out, so they're bypassing the master chain. This is just kind of like raw audio here. This is it with no spectral, and then this is it with spectral. Real similar. The one spot I can really kind of notice it that right there. You can really get, and this is where I'm singing like this really long held out note. You know, the guitar like just kind of loses its entire body there compared to it without the spectral. The guitar still loses a little bit to the sidechain for the kick drum, but if you just like listen to this here. Here you get that like all the song kind of gets this like weird little hollowness there. It is doing the thing. It's just not doing it very strongly, which is a little surprising given how intense it is at times putting a 9 decibel cut in. So I don't know if I just need to make this more of a strong effect. I don't know if I need to turn this attack down or turn the release down. I don't really, the spectral density, I'm not entirely confident. Like if I turn this up versus, no, it's just not a super noticeable difference there. So maybe I'm misusing this in a space too, where we have what is a decently uncompressed and very wet signal. With lots of reverb is maybe a hard thing for it to really help stand out. But also as this has gone on, this is again it's gone less from being the centerpiece to being kind of a background piece. And again, we kind of find ourselves with a section that doesn't really have a centerpiece because I've made the guitars here very kind of background chords. I don't know, the whole thing's kind of vibey in that spot though, and this is probably the last like real full drop section here before we start to kind of take out the bass and start to like fade the piece out by taking out different sections. So I don't know, this was the first time I've actually had like a use to try and like use that spectral sidechain mode, which was really the whole reason I bought the plugin, was so I could do things like that, as well as the dynamic sidechain EQing stuff. But yeah, I don't know, it was a cool experiment today. Didn't make much progress on the piece, but learned some things about a plugin and learned how to use my tools better. So yep, that's all we have time for today. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.